What's up everyone, welcome back to Switchcraft, and it's a great day to be a gamer. At least you thought it was great to be a gamer. At least you thought it was today. But is it? Today, I'm going to be asking some questions that are going to shift the paradigm while turning your whole world on its head. Obviously, we have a lot to accomplish, so let's get right to work. Are Switch carts really physical media? I guess in the technical sense, yes. Yes, they are. I mean, here's one right here. I can hold it in my hand. I can put it in and take it out of my console. I can disconnect from the internet, and I still have it. But if you think about things a little differently, they actually really start to blur the line between physical and digital media. You see, in the data of every Switch cart, you have a unique identifier. Seems harmless enough. Nintendo has done this to limit the number of times you can redeem at the Nintendo eShop for Nintendo points to 1. Makes sense, but therein lies the rub. That means every cart for every game has its own unique digital signature. But wait, didn't I just say that? Well, yes and no. While this digital signature prevents you from redeeming a single game an infinite number of times to get an infinite number of Nintendo points and get free games for the rest of your life from the eShop, it also means that Nintendo has the potential to get a whole lot more information than you ever thought possible from this little cart. Forgive me if this seems a little alarmist, but it hit me like a ton of bricks when wondering what would happen years from now when servers for games like LA Noire shut down and you get the game secondhand. How exactly would you go about downloading the gigs and gigs of extra info they couldn't fit on the cart? I mean, you have the physical cart right there in your hand, but you still can't play it. Remember the days when that used to be enough? With games getting bigger and bigger, this is only going to happen more and more. Or what about bonus games that you buy with the physical cart that require you to download to play? There's another one. And don't even get me started on day one patches, especially patches that are so big, sometimes they're bigger than the file size of the original game itself. Developers' reliance on the internet has allowed them to make money selling games that ship by a deadline but require thousands of lines of code and tons of assets downloaded after the fact just for it to run right. Missing essential content is a long-term problem that's already here. Earlier this year, I played through Pokemon Black version again on my 3DS. And there's already an example of a game that's missing features because those servers are no longer supported by Nintendo. But short term is where it could get even worse, depending on how much you care what Nintendo knows about what you're doing. On the PS4 and Xbox, for example, they, like the Switch, companies know when you're playing a game online and how much time you've spent playing a game. That's not a biggie. In fact, I kind of like knowing that stuff. Where Nintendo separates itself from the pack is when you realize they can tell how many times you've gone online with a specific cartridge. Sony and Microsoft also have no way of knowing whether you're the first, second, or 10th person to use the game. Nintendo absolutely has it within their abilities to track the entire lifespan of this very cartridge I'm holding in my hand. Not only that, but how many systems your potentially polygamous cart has been inside of. What if it's the unique identifier of a game that's been ripped or flagged by Nintendo? They could just as easily block that cart from ever being able to go online. What could that mean for your account? Your Switch? I mean, you thought you were just buying a used game. You pop it into your Switch and boom! Banned. Or boom! Bricked? Obviously, there haven't been any cases that I've ever heard of this happening yet. But just because something hasn't or shouldn't be done doesn't mean it won't or can't happen. I know Nintendo has banned specific cart IDs from going online, but would they lift that ban just because it's in a different console? Doesn't seem very likely. I wonder what Nintendo would think of someone setting up a Switch game rental business. That's gotta violate some 30-page agreement you didn't read and just accepted somewhere. We also might be finding out what some of the consequences of this whole system are sooner than you might expect. They did the same thing with their 3DS games, and like I said, there are already games that don't have all of their features. Could they? Would they? Might they implement some of the more serious consequences of flexing some of the muscle gained by essentially selling their customers a physical license of the games we know and love? Maybe, maybe not. I hope not. But long gone are the days of the NES, SNES, and N64, so the next time you hear people talking about the digital change that's coming to the video game industry, think to yourself, it's already been rolled out by one major player, and it was the one people least expected, Nintendo. A big thanks to Julian on Reset Era, who really fueled my thoughts with his interesting post. And thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you left a comment and shared this video with a friend so we can get and keep a conversation going. Until next time, it's a great day to be a gamer. Switchcraft out.